We all know Timmy Turner, the pink-hat buck-toothed kid with fairy godparents who usually makes wishes that do more harm than good. Growing up, I used to watch this show religiously. Timmy's wild antics and crazy wishes always had me glued to my seat. As the main character, we usually see things through Timmy's perspective. But then I started to wonder, what if we switched things up? Instead of magic and chaos, we viewed the first season through the cruel, scheming eyes of his babysitter, Vicky. In today's video, we're switching things up to see how Timmy's crazy antics might look super annoying from Vicky's perspective. Picture this, you're Vicky walking into the Turner's house with a big fake smile on your face, acting all sweet and friendly so that the Turners will trust you. You put on a show about how you love Timmy and how you two are going to be best friends, but deep down you don't care and you're already counting the minutes until your babysitting shift is over so you can get paid and head home. The second the Turners are out the door, you spin around to Timmy and bark orders at him. You tell him to stay out your way and that he has to do the dishes and go to bed early. You're not just making rules, you're showing him that you're the boss. Ruling the kids you babysit feels like the one place you call the shots, because at school or even at home, you're probably invisible or feared. At first, Timmy tells you that his parents told you to do them, but you dismiss his claim and threaten to blackmail him by showing the dirty magazine to his parents.
Bye! All right, Squirt. 3 things. 1, stay out of my way. 2, go to bed early. 3, do the dishes.
Mom told you to do them.
Oh, yeah. Well, you wouldn't want her to find this magazine, would ya?
That's not mine. Mom will never believe you.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. It works great at my house. Just ask my little brother.
He agrees to do the dishes, and you flop onto the couch and tell him you'll order a pizza as a reward. Timmy agrees, but he tells you no anchovies. You're currently chowing down. Timmy shows up after completing the dishes and complains about you eating all the pizza, but you tell him not to worry because you saved him a slice.
Hey, you ate all the pizza!
Relax, Runt. I saved you a piece.
You think it's kind of funny to watch him squirm. Is your way of making the boring nights of babysitting a little more fun, doing something small and petty just to feel alive. Right now, you're the boss. What you say goes, and you feel like you're on top of the world. That was until the magic hits. Suddenly, your bathwater gets turned into jello. Then you get turned into a fly being chased by a 10-year-old boy with a fly swatter. A giant baby with weird pink hair and a crown sits on you. Now you're the one who's being babysat. Afterwards, a green runaway train tears up the living room. Your brain short-circuiting as you lay there tied on the tracks while Timmy asks you for your last words. This is your worst nightmare. Losing control. It's like every insecurity you've buried is bubbling up. You thrive on being the boss, but you realize this is Timmy's world and you're just a pawn in it. Mr. Turner wakes you up, saying you might have had a bad dream, maybe from eating too much pizza. Relief washes over you, but there's a nagging unease in the back of your mind. Was it really a dream, or is Timmy hiding something? You have no idea that Cosmo and Wanda are the ones that turns your easy babysitting job into a disaster. You put back on a fake smile in front of Timmy's parents and lean close into Timmy and tell him you don't know what's going on, but you are going to find out.
I don't know what's going on around here, but I'm gonna find out.
See ya, Vicky. Hey, Mom, Vicky's the best fun ever. Can she babysit all the time?
Of course, dear.
Looks like we'll be here a while.
Well, at least we'll be clean.
You tickle me.
It's the weekend, and Timmy's ready to have some fun and an outing with his parents. Mr. Turner says today is the day. The Plunger Festival is in town. Timmy changes his mind, saying he'd rather stay at home to retain his dignity. Mr. Turner quickly calls you to babysit Timmy so him and his wife can go to the Plunger Festival. You rushed over while still on the phone with him, eagerly to earn some easy cash because you charge triple the rates on the weekends. You lied to the Turner saying that the extra money is going to help with your injury and gave a ridiculous story about rescuing a group of school kids from a burning bus. The Turners told you that Timmy will help take care of you, and they run out the door heading to the Plunger Festival. Timmy looks at you, imagining you as the devil with a pitchfork. You smirk at him and tell him you won't require much care. Afterwards, you lay on the couch with fans on each side, fanning you like you're on some royal throne. You call Timmy in and tell him you crave amusement. You tell him to act like a court jester and even gave him a goofy hat for the role. Timmy is clearly fed up, but you don't care. Your legs are kicked up relaxed on the ottoman, and you feel like the queen of your domain, enjoying the feeling of being in charge of everything, while thinking to yourself how good life is right now. But then, your perfect little kingdom starts to crack. One Timmy turns into 10, then 20, and suddenly you're surrounded by a swarm of Timmys. Everyone's rushing to do your chores. You say to yourself, this wasn't supposed to happen. They're vacuuming, washing dishes, even singing lullabies like some off-key barbershop quartet. It's complete chaos, and you're slowly losing your mind and also control of the situation.
I'll just lie down in Miss Turner's bed. So ill. Hey, Sicky. Sweetheart,
Now in a panic, you run into the closet, hiding and curling up, rocking back and forth while chanting, there's only one Timmy over and over. This is your personal hell. Watching your command spin out of control, you went from being the queen of the castle to being its prisoner, with the closet acting like the jail bars. Eventually, Timmy finds you and tells you you were sleepwalking and somehow ended up in the closet. Still feeling out of it, you take his word and try to give him more orders in order to gain back the control you temporarily lost.
There's only one Timmy. Only one Timmy. Only one Timmy. Vicky! There you are! You fell asleep, started sleepwalking, and ended up here in the closet. Sleepwalking? Yeah, the funniest thing. You were muttering something about copies. Ha! Yeah, copies. Well, you're still only one kid, and you've still got a lot of work to do, Pee-wee. Okay. Where should I start?
Mirror.
You're currently stuck in the Turner's living room, babysitting Timmy. The clock's ticking, and his parents are 10 minutes late. You wait by the window, impatient and irritated, feeling like the universe is personally testing you. Babysitting is already a pain, but sitting around waiting for these unreliable adults is like a punishment all by itself. Finally, the door swings open. Mr. and Mrs. Turner are a little flustered and apologize for being late. They thank you for watching their son. They ramble about some meeting running long, but you're barely listening because who cares? You notice they have sprinklers on their heads, but before you can process this level of weirdness, a splash of water hits you in the face. You're soaked, annoyed, totally done with everything, but have to keep up the facade of being the nice babysitter a little while longer at least until you leave their house. So you put on a smile while holding in your contempt and annoyance. Mrs. Turner asks you, isn't tonight the big costume dance at your school? Suddenly you change into your costume for the dance, a cute fairy godmother costume. Mr. Turner says the costume could use a little bit of pizzazz and shoves a box of costume props into your hands. Mrs. Turner asks you how was Timmy? You mutter in disdain, but then play it off saying that he's been quietly playing in his room all day long. But truthfully, you don't know or care. As long as he's quiet, he's not your problem. You're a teenager with a life and not just a babysitter. You grab that prop box and head to your school. The gym is buzzing with teenagers, music, and the promise of a good time. You still look slightly irritated. You mutter to yourself that at least you found a wand in that dumb box Mr. Turner gave you. It's the perfect match for your fairy godmother look. You smugly saying you'll win the costume contest for sure. What you don't know is that wand wasn't a prop. It's a real fairy wand that you now have in your possession. While you were babysitting Timmy, he was upstairs playing pirates with his fairies. Their swords clashed, and Timmy whacked Wanda's wand right out the window straight into your prop box.
Have fun at the dance, Vicky. I will, thanks to you. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, she's got my magic wand!
A magic wand in the wrong hands could mean total disaster. And Vicky's hands are the worst hands around.
I know. I'll wish the wand back.
It's not that simple! I knew it. The Finder's Keeper's Law. Whoever holds the wand has complete control over it. We can't wish it back! As long as she has it, she has the power to grant her own wishes, plus the wishes of others!
Then we gotta follow her to the dance and get it back ourselves. Cosmo, quick! We need transportation!
Now by the snack table, you're unimpressed with the food choices. Some kid in a bear costume next to you says he wished they had pizza and hot dogs. Pizza and hot dogs pop up from above and falls on the ground. The sauce splatters on your dress. You panic and quickly storm to the girls' bathroom, scrubbing at the stain, muttering about how this night's already a disaster. Now back in the gym, an unenthused polka band is performing and people are literally dozing off on the dance floor. You're bored out of your mind, so you grip that wand and mutter to yourself how you wish they played some rock and roll music. The gym explodes with electric guitars and pounding drums. The crowd wakes up, the energies and atmosphere is insane, and a herd of freshman girls trample over you in their excitement. After a terrible night of food ruining your costume and being trampled over by other students, you make your way to the bathroom with an irritated look on your face, thinking this night can't get any worse. Suddenly, this tall, handsome guy with green hair appears out of nowhere. He flashes you a grin and asks you if you want to dance. Your heart is racing. You think he's smooth, charming, and suddenly the night's not a total loss. Unfortunately, your knees buckle and you faint on the floor like someone from a dramatic television show.
Hey, gorgeous. Wanna dance?
Who? Me? I...
Come with me to the Cosmo. Casbah. This magnetic charm I have is really a curse. Mission accomplished.
Listen, Mr. Magic, I may not be as young as I used to be, but just remember that you are still a married man.
Oh, yes, dear. But you know the one.
You finally wake up and head to the bathroom. Your head is slightly pounding from fainting on the floor. The announcements comes on to announce the winner of the costume contest. This is your shot. You clutch the wand in your hand and ran back to the gym as fast as you can. While running through the hallway, someone spins into you, which causes you to fly into the air, and the wand slips from your hand. But you're not worried about that right now. The contest winners are about to be announced, and you have to hurry to see if you won or not.
What's your problem, Stain?
Hey, you wacky adolescents, it's almost contest time.
No!
Time for the big finish.
Oh, I love the big finish. Hello, gorgeous.
And now to announce the contest winner.
Yay!
The first runners-up are the two kids in the Firefly costume.
Cool! We'd like to thank the Academy.
And the winner is Vicky! For the most revealing and quite frankly scariest costume.
Ah! Somebody give me a costume! Well, congratulations, you two.
Mr. and Mrs. Turner are about to go to some fancy award ceremony. Apparently, Mr. Turner was voted for shiniest hair in the office. Yeah, seriously. You showed up at their front door with a fake smile, telling the Turners you're ready to babysit and that you and Timmy are going to have a fun night. You don't really care about Timmy, but you know you have to act like a great babysitter in front of his parents. But then, Mr. Turner tells you that they won't need your services for tonight because Timmy is staying home by himself. This news shocks you, your blood begins to boil, and your mask temporarily slips. You think to yourself, this twerp thinks he's too good for me, and this feels personal now, but you're a professional, so you were able to keep your composure in front of Timmy's parents. You can't believe the Turners bought his mature young man act. You're seething on the inside. Babysitting is your thing. It's the one time where you get to be the boss, and it feels like Timmy's trying to take that away from you, and there's no way you're going to let him win.
Miss you. We're going to have a great evening.
Vicky, we're not going to need you tonight after all. Timmy's staying by himself.
What? Are you kidding? The twerp couldn't do anything by himself if he... Of course. You're right, Mr. Turner. Timmy's perfectly capable of staying on his own. I'd better run along now and see if there are any needy people in the area that require my services. Ta-ta!
Later, after the Turners leave, you channeled your inner ninja and climb a tree outside the Turners' home. You say to yourself that Timmy isn't about to cheat you out of a night's pay. And as soon as you look through the Turners' window with your binoculars, you see a full-blown party, candy, soda, pizza, even a conga line. You're starting to laugh maniacally. This is your chance to bust him and prove you're indispensable. You whip out your phone, call the Turners, and wait for the chaos to unfold. You think to yourself, this is checkmate. You got Timmy right where you want him. That was until his parents barge in and see him sitting there reading a book by candlelight. Your jaw drops in confusion. You tell the Turners that their son was throwing a party, but they just look at you like you're crazy. Losing your pay for the night was bad enough, and now a 10-year-old is making you look bad on purpose in front of the people who employ you. This feels like a game, and he's currently winning, but you're not done yet, and you got too much pride to let this slide. Back at it, you sneak up to the house with your camera ready. You take a picture of Timmy on a roller coaster looping through the living room. It looks too good to be true, but you don't care as long as you caught Timmy in the act of disobeying his parents' wishes. You call the Turners again, barely containing your excitement. You hold up the photo to show the Turners what Timmy was really doing, but it just shows Mr. Turner's hairy legs and his underwear.
Feast your eyes on this!
Why, that's you, dear. Those are the briefs I got you for St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, so they are. What's the meaning of this, young lady? Yes, that's my tush. Now explain.
You're confused and screaming on the inside. You think to yourself, is this bad luck, a conspiracy, or are you going crazy? You're starting to wonder if babysitting's frying your brain. Roller coasters 1 minute, monster trucks the next, all inside the house. It seems impossible and pretty much delusional when you think about it. You and the Turners all enter the house to see Timmy's cross-legged on a yoga mat, meditating with his fish nearby. Mr. Turner thinks Timmy is perfectly fine on his own and basically fires you on the spot. Timmy celebrates your firing and hugs his mom and tells her he had a great time staying home by himself. She spots a chunk of pepperoni wedged between Timmy's teeth. Mr. Turner scolds Timmy and says if he can't take care of his teeth, maybe he's not mature enough to stay home by himself. This is your chance to get your job back. You offer to help Timmy clean his teeth with a giant engine-powered toothbrush, because who doesn't carry one of those around with them? And you're hired as Timmy's babysitter once again.
If you can't take proper care of your tooth, young man, then maybe you aren't mature enough to stay by yourself after all.
But...
What is this fascination with my fanny?
Mr. Turner, allow me to instruct Timmy in the proper methods of cavity prevention.
Thanks, Vicky. I don't know what we'd do without you.
My pleasure. I won't rest until every tooth in this house is spotless. That could take years.
You're currently lounging at a scout camp in the middle of nowhere, rocking your sunglasses and sipping on juice like you're on a beach instead of babysitting a bunch of badge-obsessed kids. This is the closest thing to a vacation you can get. The sun's warm, the breeze is chill, and you're just sitting there relaxed while cream puff scouts do your chores because you threaten to show their parents their bad grades on their report cards.
Gosh, Vicky, thanks for letting us put up your tent. And do your laundry. I'll take your latrine duty. Certainly, girls. And don't worry, I promise none of your parents will ever see these atrocious report cards of yours. Thanks, Vicky. You're the best camp counselor ever. Don't mention it. And if you all play your cards right, I just might teach you how to hack into the school's computer system, just like I did. Really? No! More guava juice.
Everything was going smoothly until the scout leader shows up and orders you to gather firewood so she can make her famous sauerkraut. While you're gathering firewood, you notice that Timmy is on a camping trip too. This is when you get the idea to scare Timmy and the rest of his camper buddies. You've sewn a Bigfoot costume, complete with fake fangs, ready to scare the hell out of the scouts. You're doing this because you love chaos and enjoy causing misfortune to others, simply because it amuses you. You slip into the bushes, pulling on your shaggy costume. You're grinning like a villain in a low-budget movie. While hiding, you see the scouts around the campfire. Your heart is pounding with anticipation. You're ready to leap out and send these kids running in terror. You imagine their shrieks, their whimpers. This is your moment to shine, and you can't wait any longer. You jump out, roaring like a beast, only to get snagged in a rope trap.
Yeah, Dad. I captured Bigfoot. Huh?
You're dangling and flailing by the end of the rope, unable to speak because you had the bright idea of gluing the fake fangs in your mouth. That twerp seems to have outsmarted you, and now he's grinning because he just earned a shiny merit badge for capturing Bigfoot. You're not just mad, you're humiliated. This is your worst nightmare, being outsmarted, mocked, and reduced to a punchline for some 10-year-old so he can earn an easy camping badge. It gets even worse. They don't just let you go, they haul you to a museum thinking you're the real Bigfoot. You're screaming inside, but those stupid fangs muffle everything. You're locked in a glass cage with a gorilla who's weirdly trying to be nice to you, even offering you flowers. You're pounding the glass, desperate to escape, but no one understands your gibberish because of the glued-on fangs. This isn't just a bad day, it's a slap in the face. You wanted to be feared, but now you're a sideshow trapped while Timmy's out there smiling.
Jinkies, he's so human. It's eerie.
Mr. and Mrs. Turner are about to head to the movies. They told Timmy he can't come because he's not old enough. This is where you come in ready to cash in on another babysitting gig. The Turners leave, and right away, you turn to Timmy and tell him to go to bed. It's not even 7 o'clock, but who cares? Early bedtime means less hassle for you. You're in charge, and the twerp has to listen to you. You savor the power trip and enjoy watching others listening to your orders.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Turner. It's me, Vicky.
You can't spell Vicky without icky.
We'll be back really late, so just tuck Timmy in, okay?
I'll take care of the little darling like he was my own cash and blood. Have fun at the movies. Bye. All right, twerp. Time for bed.
But it's only 6:04.
Well, it's 9:04 on the East Coast. Bed!
Now it's 9:05 on the East Coast.
Later on, you kick back in the living room with a magazine, just trying to chill and enjoy a little peace and quiet. But then some bald, wrinkly guy shows up at the door claiming he's Timmy. You're not buying it. This creep's got no business here, and you're not about to let some random guy ruin your night. You blow your whistle and get into battle position and show off your fighting skills. You're a babysitter, but also a heavy hitter.
Oh, man. Put it out of my own house.
Nobody gets rid of creeps like Vicky.
After you dealt with that situation, you head upstairs to check on Timmy. Your stomach drops once you find out his bed's empty. Suddenly, his parents are back home, and you're now in panic mode. Timmy's gone, and if the Turners find out, you're going to be in deep trouble for losing their kid. Your heart's racing, and your mind scrambling for a plan. You're quick on your feet, though. You grab a basketball, slap Timmy's pink hat on it, and tuck it into his bed like it's the real deal. Genius, right? When the Turners come home, gushing about their movie, you play it cool, muttering how Timmy, sleeping like an angel. They buy it, and you're in the clear. But you're not done. You slip out, determined to find that twerp before he gets you in deeper trouble. What you don't know is that Timmy's wished to be an adult and it backfired. He turned into the fat bald guy you kicked out earlier. He's out there totally failing at being an adult, failing at shaving and washing dishes in order to pay off a restaurant bill. While you're racing around Dimsdale checking alleys and arcades, terrified you've lost him for good. By the time you hit the police station to file a lost child report, you're a wreck and scared. If Timmy's hurt, it's on you, and that's a weight you're not ready to carry. When you finally spot him, everything feels back to normal. You're not sure what happened, but you're not asking questions.
Officer, he's a twerp, you know, and I can't find him. He's about this high, and he's got a stupid little pink hat like this. And he's got a nasally little voice like, "Hi, Vicky!" Twerp! I'm safe! I mean, you're safe, which means I'm safe!
Timmy and his friends have just entered a virtual reality game while you're downstairs, flickering the lights on and off. You get bored and head to the power outlet and start plugging cords in, like the television and the popcorn maker, all plugged into one outlet. It looks like a lot and probably uses a lot of energy, but you don't care because you're not paying the bill. You begin channel surfing while ignoring the faint sounds of Timmy messing around upstairs. He's probably playing some dumb game, but as long as he's not burning the house down, it's fine. You begin flipping through channels, but something's off. First, you see some cheesy sitcom called I Love Wanda, then a weather report that's just a dude showing off a feather. You think this has to be a prank. You're bored, so you flip faster, landing on a talk show with a guy who married his car and some weird music promo for Wheels on the Bus. You're ready to chuck the remote through the screen, but little do you know Timmy's fairies, Cosmo and Wanda, are hijacking your TV, acting out fake shows to keep you from frying the power grid. Meanwhile, you're oblivious to the real drama. Timmy's trapped in a VR game with his friends Chester and AJ, risking permanent deletion if the game crashes. You're just trying to watch your shows, but every plug you touch is a ticking time bomb. When the power finally cuts out, you're livid, stomping upstairs to yell at Timmy, only to find him, Chester, and AJ sprawled out VR helmets on, looking like they just survived a war. You think to yourself that you're not paid enough for this. You told Timmy's friends to leave because he has to rewire the house for you so you can watch your shows. Timmy smugly hands you a VR helmet saying it'll immerse you in your favorite show. You're skeptical, but you put it on. You're instantly sucked into a pixelated nightmare filled with crushing balls and lobster monsters. You're screaming for your life, and Timmy's cackling outside, and you realize you've been played.
Alright, game over! You twerps are out of here! Timmy's gotta rewire the house because I can't watch my shows!
Later, dude. Bye, Timmy. See you tomorrow. Hey, Vicky, why don't you watch your shows on this? This virtual reality helmet puts you right in the middle of your favorite programs.
Give me that! Cool, the Tetherball channel!
Hi, Finn!
You storm upstairs into Timmy's room, where he's decked out in a Crash Nebula costume, blasting purple spray guns with Chester and AJ like they're filming a sci-fi flick. There's a hole in the wall, a tipped over table, and some weird green squid kid in a costume. You tell them to keep it down, you shout while glaring at Timmy and his buddies, who freeze like deer in headlights. Your eyes land on the squid kid. He's staring at you like you're a rock star, all wide-eyed like he's in some sort of daze. You figure he's some exchange student in a goofy costume, so you grab his arm and drag him downstairs while yelling at Timmy to clean up the mess.
Telling you for the last time, keep it quiet up here!
She's terrified the children in a way I could not.
You in the stupid alien costume! You're out of here! But, Vicky, you can play with your geek buddy after you clean up this room!
Oh, she's so forceful!
Now you and Mark are in the living room. Mark is dusting the counter, and you don't notice that he's in love with you. He begins to babble, but you tune him out and roll your eyes, and then you ask him, is he from Europe? You cut him off and tell him to make you a chocolate shake. He screams and says, chocolate is the foulest substance on his planet, which only makes him love you even more. His puppy dog vibe is annoying, but deep down, it kind of feels a little nice. While you're dealing with Mark, you don't even realize things around you are getting way more intense. Timmy's freaking out because Mark's a real alien prince from Yugopatamia, and his parents are blasting through space to rescue him. Mark is currently in the kitchen making your chocolate shake. Chester and AJ show up, saying they're here to rescue him from you, but Mark glues them to the wall, planning to gift you them as some sort of appetizer. You're sipping on your shake until you hear the doorbell ring. It's Mark's parents. They call themselves the Chains and tell you they're here to pick up their son. Mark's clinging to you, crying about love, and you're turning blue from his hug. His dad tries to let him stay, but Timmy, somewhere nearby, starts chomping on a flower, scaring them into dragging Mark back to their spaceship. You stumble outside, watching their ship blast off. A single tear rolls down your cheek. You think how Mark saw something in you, and that you vow to never forget him. That wasn't until you spot a shiny nickel on the ground, which instantly restores your mood.
I mean, car.
Whatever.
I'll never forget you, Mark! For an exchange student from Europe! Hey! I found a nickel!
You're over to Turner's house getting ready to babysit Timmy. His parents flaunt their $50,000 vase in your face, bragging about how it's worth more than you'll ever earn. Their laughter hits you like a slap in the face, and you're just standing there, glaring, while they happily stroll out the door. Timmy's upstairs, muttering about some school project, but you're too busy fuming over a vase to even care.
Well, we're off.
Take good care of our fancy new vase while we're gone. Oh, and Timmy too. Keep an eye on him.
I hate you. Stop mocking me!
Timmy's still in his room, wishing his assignment was more exciting. Cosmo and Wanda poofed him up a shrinking suit in order to show him that microbiology can be fun, so he shrank himself to microscopic size for his project. Cosmo suggests they explore the coolies around you. Timmy agreed and heads straight to the living room to find you. You're sitting down with lots of snacks on the table. You're in heaven right now, munching on cheese pants, trying to shake off the Turner's jab about how a vase is worth more than you, while pouring the whole bag of cheese pants in your mouth. You unknowingly ate Cosmo and Wanda. A few seconds later, a wave of nausea hits, and you rush to the bathroom and accidentally knock over that stupid vase. Your heart stops, shards everywhere. You panic, but then realize that you can put the blame on Timmy. He's an hyperactive kid after all. He's the perfect person to take the blame. You call up some teens and tell them to trash the place and call it Timmy's party. It's a dirty move, but you don't care. The Turners shouldn't have gloated about how much the vase cost. This is how you justified it to yourself. You enjoy watching the teens trash up the Turner's house. But then, something weird happens. You start feeling nice, like Snow White level nice. You apologize to some girl for spilling soda on her dress, handing out cash to the teens, calling in squirrels and birds to clean the house. You're singing the animals like a Disney princess, and it's freaking you out on the inside. Your brain's screaming, this isn't me, but you can't stop. You're scrubbing floors, fixing furniture, even wiping snot off of a picture frame while smiling. It's like a fever dream. Maybe you have food poisoning or something. Suddenly, it's like a switch flips. The kindness in you vanishes. You're back to your old self, and you yell at the animals to leave. You feel sort of embarrassed for being nice, even if it was just for a moment. The house is now spotless, and somehow the vase is now fixed. The Turners are now home. Timmy comes out and accidentally knocks over the vase. You're ready to gloat, picturing him grounded for life. But then the plot twist in his parents' chair. It turns out the vase was insured for $50,000 $50,000, but they bought it for $1 online. You're stunned after all that stress, all that plotting, and they end up richer. You're just standing there kind of relieved, but mostly annoyed, wondering why things never seem to go your way.
Cleaned the house and made it spotless. What a wonderfully kind thing to do.
Boring conversation. Can't focus. All right! Timmy broke the vase!
We're rich!
What?
Vicky, that vase was worth and insured for $50,000. We only bought it for $1.
Where'd you get it for $1?
Internet. And thanks to Timmy's tiny attention span, we just made $49,999.
I hate you.
The episode opens with you waving from the Turners' second floor window as Mr. and Mrs. Turner head out for the night with your trusty dog Doidle by your side. Timmy begs his parents not to leave him, but you shove him down while petting Doidle. It looks like you're showering Timmy with love and affection from the driveway. Timmy's parents eat it up, driving off without a clue. As soon as they leave, you drop the act and hand him a chore list, all in your handwriting, even though you told him it's from his parents. He points out the obvious, that you clearly wrote this list, but you flashed your fist at him and told him to get moving. You watch Timmy drag himself through the pouring rain, holding an umbrella over Doidle while lightning keeps zapping him. At dinner, you plop a juicy steak on the table, and Timmy's eyes light up until you smack him aside and tell him that's for Doidle, but you're not completely heartless. You tossed him a frozen TV dinner. Too bad Doidle steals it, leaving Timmy gnawing on plastic.
Oh boy! Steak! Not for you! Oh boy! Plastic!
Later, you're flipping through a teen magazine in the living room. You call Doidle to the living room, and he comes in, all waz and barks, jumping into your arms like the good boy he is. What you don't know is that Timmy wished to swap bodies with Doidle, and you're cuddling him, not your dog. He's loving the dog life, insulting you in his head, and pretty much doing whatever he wants. Doidle is in the living room eating ice cream, and you tell him he can chew and pee on what he wants. Because he has a special day tomorrow, he's going to the vet to get fixed. Doidle freaks out and runs upstairs, and you're left there confused. You find Doidle in Timmy's room, looking nervous for some reason. Timmy's parents are home, so you're done for today, and you drag Doidle back home with you. At your house, you're tending to your other pets. Happy the goldfish, Chipper the cat, Jenny the parrot, all looking like they've seen better days.
He's fixed all my pets, like Happy the goldfish, Chipper the cat, and Giddy the parrot. Polywana? Who cares?
Hey, kid, did she give you a steak?
Yeah?
The next day, you're at the Dimsdale Vet Clinic making small talk with Dr. Snipowitz about his fancy Snipmaster 8000. Then Doidle bites him and dives out the window. You run after him and finally find him at the park, crammed into a tiny cage with a muzzle on. You scoop him up, telling him it's time for him to finally get fixed.
Doidle, there you are. Now let's get you fixed.
The next day, you introduced your new hamster, Spunky, treating him to a nice steak as he's totally unaware of the disaster that's coming his way.
Put her in his death stare.
Guys, meet my new hamster, Spunky. You can stay here. Here you go, Spunky. A nice, juicy steak. Oh boy, steak! Should we tell him?
It's only fair. Hey, Spunky!
My steak, no way, I'm eating here. My, get away, you losers. My, stop it, don't touch, come on, get away. He can find out on his own.
And that was only Vicky's perspective from season 1, and we're just getting started. If this video hits 1,000 likes, we'll take a look at season 2. So hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe.